Welcome to the 71st devlog for Lazr. This devlog will be a little different. We'll be talking mostly about removing things from the game. Let's get started. For context, this month was August in 2022. The first week was productive, but on the 8th I got COVID. I was out until the 15th, so basically spent a week in bed resting and recovering. After taking a week off and not seeing or interacting with the game, I sat down and played it, and realized that there were issues I needed to address. Taking that break gave me fresh eyes, and allowed me to see the game in a different way. So I was able to find a silver lining despite getting sick. Let's explore those changes. From the 15th to the 30th, Pedro and I worked on the Skylab mission. We redesigned the levels and added clouds. Previously there were no clouds, and the levels didn't really feel like they were taking place in the sky. Here's some levels from the redesigned Skylab mission. Now we'll talk about removing and fixing various things in-game. First, the pet vendor was upgraded to more clearly explain pet adoption. One of the playtesters noted that they thought they were unlocking pets by purchasing them, which was not the case. So now there are dialogues that hopefully convey that the hero can only adopt one pet at a time. Here's what that looks like now. Pedro and I have created a new artifact shop, which is linked downtown. The artifact vendor now lives here, and the shop is much more noticeable. Raids were removed from the fast travel menu. Based on feedback, players were getting confused about what to do in-game. And I think this is because I was giving them too many options. So, removing raids from the fast travel menu is starting to reduce those options. Soon I will remove the swamp bar from the fast travel menu too, because this location is far less important than the other locations. Don't worry, all these levels are still in the game. Which brings me to the next change. Raids are now accessible from the Rebel NPCs. Speaking with Jada will load the player into the next story mission, while speaking with any other Rebel NPC will load the player into a raid. Raids are similar to story missions, but their focus is on harder challenges, more rewards, and unique boss fights, such as the new brain boss fight. Dreams were entirely removed. The player can no longer sleep in their bed and have dreams. While this sounded fun, it wasn't, and didn't support the gameplay at all. It was more of a distraction that caused confusion. Morality was entirely removed too. I found that it wasn't fun, and was too similar to the Wanted level. Players got confused about why they had devil horns, and why vendors wouldn't speak to them. They didn't know how to remove the negative morality. Now, I could have put more effort into explaining the morality system to the player, but that still wouldn't address the issue of morality being too similar to the Wanted level. So ultimately, I decided that morality doesn't fit into the game well enough to keep it. Overall, I think these changes focus the game better. Lazr is about climbing on ropes, nets, and fighting enemies and bosses. It's a mix of Mega Man meets Celeste meets Grand Theft Auto. And while trying new and different gameplay concepts is important, it's even more important to recognize when those gameplay concepts don't work. So this month was really focused on figuring out what doesn't work and removing it from the game. Finally, I planned out the Biodome mission and realized that it was going to take a lot of work to make it. There was going to be 5 bosses in 6 levels, and after careful consideration, I decided that was too much work for that mission. Instead, I've decided to completely redesign the mission. Overall, these are the missions that are complete with bosses, and these are the missions remaining. Part of game development is figuring out what works for the game and what doesn't, and that's just part of trying to do something differently. You add things and test them and see if they work. If they work, you keep them. If they don't work, you change them or remove them. The worst possible outcome is refusing to acknowledge something doesn't work and pushing forward, because you end up with something that nobody understands or finds enjoyable. I didn't want Lazr to become that, so tough decisions were made that cost me weeks of work. Goals for next month will be completing art upgrades for the underground mission and redesigning and completing the Biodome mission. Thanks for joining me on the development journey of Lazr. You can learn more at Lazr.online. Lazr's free demo is available on Steam, itch, GameJolt, and Indie Expo.